is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our weekly podcast. I'm Josh. That's Andrew over there. We got a cracking episode for the lads tonight. Yes, we do. Great word, by the way. Uh, but yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Some big time things have happened since the last time we recorded. So we're gonna kind of talk through some of that, talk through some other things, but before we jump into all of that, Andrew, how you feeling tonight, man?
It's better we recorded this on a Monday than if you caught me at this time yesterday. Um, I
Yeah.
went over, or I had a bye in one fantasy league, and then I am out of the playoffs in two. I was fortunate
Ouch.
enough to make the playoffs in all of my leagues, which I don't think I've
Wow.
ever done, but
Wow.
then to bow out first round in two of them, that really, really hurts.
Ouch.
Um, but it's one of those things like when your team plays okay, but you just go up against everyone basically had
Yep.
Byron stacks. It's just like it just
Right.
crushed me. Um,
Yep.
all those solar listeners out there, OGs, that's you just go up against those stacks, and sometimes they hit, sometimes they go against you.
True.
Um, but Josh, did you how did you fare in fantasy football playoffs?
Yeah, so I'm in three leagues as well,
Mm.
and I actually had two first round buys in two of the
Oh,
leagues.
that's
Yeah.
that's the strat. That's the strat.
Yeah. And then the other league, I'm in the toilet bowl, and I had
Mm.
180 points scored against me.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was
Yep.
over on Thursday night. You just knew.
Yep.
It's like up there for half point PPR record score.
Oh yeah. I would have guessed that's a full PPR score. That's
No, half point.
insane. That's insane.
And I had the most points against me the entire season by like over 100. So this is
That's
it's just continuing into the playoffs.
that's insane. That's
Yeah.
insane. I wish like I like how fantasy f football you can have different settings and whatnot. I do wish there was like a standard so that you can like compare your scores
Right.
against. But again, like every league, if you're playing against five other people, your teams are going to be really stacked. So even if it's the same scoring format, that's where I do appreciate about So Rare. You could get every player, and there is that standard where you're going. I mean, you are going up against everyone. And when you do compare scores, there is that standard to it. But yeah, it's crazy when you just go up against a team that just goes nuts, and it happens in so rare. It happens in fantasy football.
Yep.
That's fantasy sports.
Happens in real sports too. Sometimes the other team is just better.
Yeah, yeah,
Happens
and
in the MLB. In
yeah,
in free agency, sometimes the other team just gives a better deal.
yep. I listened. I forget the podcast or where I heard this, but they said it's skill to make the playoffs in your fantasy league, and then it's luck to win your league.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
fair.
and it's true like season long. And this is kind of true with so rare. Like there's a lot of luck to win. Like a so rare like game week. It's luck. It's all luck to get top 100. That's like you have to.
True.
Every player has to put up 50 probably in NBA,
Right.
or
Right.
you got to hit probably average of 40 per player in MLB if you want to get close to sniffing a podium. Um,
True.
yeah, it's just that's fantasy sports, man.
That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Well, like I said, let's jump right into it, huh? We have a
Yeah.
lot to talk about, actually. Um, a lot of moves, some pieces starting to fall into place for this MLB offseason. I think we start with probably I guess you could call it more boring
Yeah.
move that was
Yeah.
made.
Yeah. Start boring.
Kyle Schwarber back to the Phillies. Not really surprised there. 5-year deal, 150 million, I want to say it was. Um, One of the biggest DH contracts ever. Kind of wild, 30 million a year for a DH. Um, but that's what hitting 50 plus home runs will get you. And the Phillies, this was probably top of their list. I would, if I had to guess, in terms of moves that they needed to make this offseason. The thing, well, I guess first of all, Andrew, how like were you surprised at all? Does the contract do anything for you? Anything like that?
I mean, first of all, Homer speaking, I thought there's a part of me that was like, he's going to come back to the Cubs. He's going to play there for 1 or 2 years and just, play. He's still in his prime. He hit 56 home runs last season. That's insane. Like, I looked back at that number. I was like, wait, did he really hit that
Yeah,
many?
wild.
Dude mashes. So there was part of me that I think one of the emotions I felt was relief because he's not going to be a Cub. He's
True.
probably not going to be a Cub for the rest of his career. I mean, maybe he'll do that. I don't know if they do that in baseball where they do the 1 day contracts. I think they do to
Yeah.
retire for that team. But I don't think he's going to step up to the plate as a Cub, and that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. Um, so that aside, the what I've been hearing, and I still don't know where I come down on it, is the team kind of overpaid a little bit, and that they're signing him for 5 years. And sure, he'll probably be good for the first 2, 3 years, but those back years where will he be as productive at 36, 37, 6, 7? Uh, that he can, can he keep that up? And if he can't, that's going to look like a lot of money on their books. Baseball has no salary cap, so to be honest, it really doesn't effing matter. But like that is a lot of money, and I guess the Phillies are sort of budget constrained. Um, I don't know. I heard that argument online. I can see maybe both sides of it. Um, but I think because he didn't go to the Cubs, I like it. What did you
Yeah.
think about the deal?
Yeah. I kind of agree with you. It does seem like a lot for somebody who does not play the field, strictly a DH position. Um, I always find it interesting when teams re-sign players like this. Um, the team didn't get better. I think
Mm,
when you look at
good
free
point.
agent signings, you have to look, did my team get better after we made this signing? The
Mm,
team, the Phillies, did not get better. They stayed the same. They kept a player that they had last year. Um, but again, it's kind of like pieces falling into place. You have to make this move to make other moves, but you got to know what you have first. But you very well could argue they didn't get any better. You could also argue that Schwarber's going to regress.
yeah.
56 homers, 240 average. You don't see Schwarber hitting for a 240 average that often. Especially as he gets older, you kind of worry about losing power a little bit. So it does feel like a slight overpay, but I feel like the Phillies were kind of trapped.
Yeah.
They didn't get worse, and that's what matters. They made the move, but yeah, it kind of feels like a little overpay.
It's an overpay, but what's so funny is like baseball money doesn't really matter. Uh, they gave him a lot of money, but like who cares? I mean, it's the owner's
Right,
money.
right,
Theoretically, the money is finite in that if you sign Schwarber, you're less likely to go out and get like another piece you can add. Um, but I don't know. I guess what I would say to owners is just like spend more money, man. Like,
yep,
they gotta. Unless you're the Dodgers, like it seems like every other team has just said like we have a budget and we're sticking to it. Whereas the Dodgers are just maxing out their black Amex card and just putting it
right,
all on 2047 when they have all that money due.
yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they have a lot more work to do. This is, I mean, for them, hopefully the first step of many. Potentially losing Bader, losing a lot of pitching, potentially losing their catcher, potentially losing their third baseman.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what other moves they add to this. This cannot be their only move. If so, it's a big loss for their offseason. But again, this is the start, hopefully, for them.
I will say there's a team we're going to talk about in their division. I think their division got a lot easier to win. We can get into that when we talk about this next move, but Phillies, I think, Josh, you said they're continuing the status quo. Honestly, that might be just enough that might, usually you have to get better in order to do better. But I think this year, maybe you just got to do what you did last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm assuming you're talking about the Mets.
I think I am. Yeah. Yeah. LOL
Uh,
Mets. LOL Mets.
LOL Mets has never been more true than in the first 5 weeks, I guess the last 5 weeks of the offseason. Um, just looking at their subtractions list is pretty comical.
It's
How many people
insane.
they've lost, yeah. And not just nobodies to like big names.
Yes.
Um, I think we start with a couple of the smaller names and lump them
Yeah.
together, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk about the two big boys. But we talked about the Nimmo trade on last week's episode. We talked about Mullins going to the Rays. I think we talked about Housley signing with the Orioles.
Did.
Um,
Yep.
but they also lost Tyler Rogers, who was pretty solid to the Blue Jays. Love that for the Blue Jays. Gregory Soto. So they're losing some pitching there. So a couple of smaller names, but will be misses for them, especially when it starts to add up.
Yep.
But I guess we'll start with maybe the more obvious one. Edwin Diaz goes
Whew.
to the Pirates, the Reds,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
They have money.
Brewers,
Yeah. Brewers. Brewers. Yeah. Brewers.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
Twins. We went to the Twins. No, he signed with the Dodgers. Let's cut to the chase here. Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. I want to say the deal was what, 3 years, 69 million off the top
Yeah.
of my head.
Yeah.
I think that's
Money's
right.
not real for the Dodgers. It's not real.
It's
They're
not
putting
real.
it on credit cards.
It's just I don't know. What do you even say about it? It's so obvious at this point. Like it's just such a Dodgers move.
Yeah, I they just the Dodgers. Well, yeah, let's focus on the Dodgers first. The Dodgers had one need. Their closer. Um, in a World Series, maybe closing doesn't actually matter because you can just throw out your starters and they'll just come in. Doesn't matter what inning it is. You'll put your best arm out there. Um, I think I might honestly, if the window is open, I might take the over Dodgers. I'll say I don't know what their win total on the year is. I'm gonna guess I would put them at 105 without even really looking at their schedule too much. Um, they're gonna have more wins than last year. I think the closer really matters in those close regular season games when Dave Roberts is not gonna go out and put in uh, his starter in the seventh or eighth inning. Uh,
Right.
but having Edwin Diaz, one of the best closers in the game, just come in is insane. And for the Mets, I think the Mets like want to be the Dodgers. So it's like we always talk as homers of like the worst would be one of our best Churio to the Cubs
Right.
or Freddie Peralta to the Cubs. I mean, maybe not Freddie, but one of our best players going to our arch rival. I think the Mets, I think they should really think about the Dodgers as like one of their arch rivals. Like this is a huge failure of their org to keep like their best players. And the Dodgers, man, they just don't miss.
Yeah. Um, Looking at it from the Dodgers perspective, like you said, it fills a hole that they had that never got exploited. Almost got exploited, I guess, in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But the Dodgers are going to be the same team, but better because they're going to add. So, like, they won the World Series this year. So there's nothing pointing at them not winning again next year. Why would they not win next year? It's baseball, so anything can happen. But um, let's talk about deferrals for a second. Like you said,
yeah,
2047. The Dodgers now owe over $1 billion to 9 different players
it's not
between
real.
now and 2047.
It's on the
Um,
Amex card.
but if you think about it, like it doesn't matter. They
Yeah,
they win World Series. Like you get paid for winning the World Series. You sell
Yeah.
tickets. They have the entire country of Japan backing them. Like $1 billion is like a penny to me and you to the Dodgers organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you
It,
do about it?
I would just say, yeah, all of these moves are I either the Dodgers are like trying to get a salary cap added, like they're just kind of having fun with the rest of baseball, saying like, look at me, like it'd be like playing Monopoly back in the day, and then while everyone is just like playing with the money that was dealt to them, there's one player that's just pulling money from the bank that's not theirs and just playing with that and being like, yeah, sure, I'll buy
Right.
Boardwalk and then I'll go buy all the railroads because why not? I have the money. And no one said, "Hey, is that really your money?" Uh, but it just seems like they're playing by a set of different rules than everyone else. And until the rules get normalized, I I think the Dodgers might. I think they kind of want a salary cap. I think
Right.
it's like someone who knows that they've done something wrong and they're kind of like looking for justice for themselves. They're like, look, I someone needs to know I messed up.
Right. Yeah, it's funny when these players like they're always asked like why did you choose the Dodgers? And it's like, well, the World Series rings, the cash, living in LA, in
LA.
California, like big TV deal, big market. Like what do you like what a dumb question. And then you hear these people that are like MLB doesn't need a salary cap. Other teams could be spent. Every owner is rich, but like yeah, every owner is rich, but not every owner has a guaranteed $80 billion coming to them from TV deals and ticket sales and jersey sales and all that stuff that you're afforded in a big market like the Dodgers. So to
Yeah.
sit here and say every other team can do that, it's simply not true. Also,
Yeah.
geographically, I like Milwaukee. It's a nice city. It's probably harder to convince Edwin Diaz, hey buddy, I know you like warm weather and stuff, but like it's warm here in the summer, kinda. It won't be warm during the start of the baseball season or the end of the baseball season, but in the middle it might be warm here compared to a guy from the DR that's like probably likes the warm weather, right? Like
Yeah, that's what they're
what better
used to.
sell than being like, hey man, it's gonna be 75 and sunny every single day. You don't have to worry about it. Like
Yeah.
just that alone, just geographically speaking, is enough to sell some of these players. So it's already an uphill battle. Then you add in the 17 other factors. How do you get somebody to sign with your team if you're not the Dodgers?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's like they have just like this lure, this magnet that, you know, and you can make the same argument though for New York, looking at the flip side of it. Like New York, if most people, if they're not living in LA and they're famous and rich, like New York is an ultimate draw.
True,
It doesn't have as great of weather, but
true.
from a food, from a like fun, like all
Market
the
size.
clubs, if you're a young player, lots of, very your cultural city. But yet the Mets just can't capitalize on that. They're acting like they play their games in Toledo, Ohio. Sorry, Ohio. But like, the Mets need to remember, like, they're in New York. Like, New York is a
Right.
really fun place too. But they're just kind of letting everyone walk all over New York.
Yeah. Now, the next person that we're going to talk
Oh,
about is probably the perfect counter argument to what we were just talking about.
yep.
Um, Probably the most surprising of the moves that have
Yes.
happened so far this offseason.
Yes.
Mr. Peter Alonso going to the Baltimore Orioles. So
Wow.
random.
Wow.
Maybe not as random as you think, I guess, but
Okay.
um, shout out the Baltimore Orioles for like going for it in a division that is absolutely stacked.
Oh,
They've made some huge moves this offseason. I love what they've done. Um, not a big market, right?
no,
But
no, no.
owners willing to spend. That's what
Yep.
matters, I guess. Convinced Peter to come to Baltimore. kind of similar area to New York, to be fair. Not a big move for him, but
Yeah.
yeah. Pete Alonso, 5 years to the Orioles. That team's fun.
The Orioles are a very fun team, and I think this is the message for the Pirates, for the Brewers, maybe with the Reds. The Reds have a young core that's developing. Maybe the Cardinals, I guess, if they maybe get their young core that actually does something. But teams that aren't the Dodgers or maybe the Mets or Yankees, you need to. I think the winning recipe, or at least what the Orioles are chasing, you have enough homegrown talent that you've developed that are on smaller deals. Maybe one of them you extended to a team friend, some sort of compromise there. But you need that missing piece that makes you a championship team. You need to have a Vladdy. You need to have an Otani. You need to have that guy. Maybe you're really, really, really lucky, and that guy is someone who you've homegrown, and it's just the stars align. But I think you need to go out and get that player and spend whatever amount of money or give up, your eighth or ninth best prospects to do it. But I think you need to go for it one of the years. You can't just be content winning the division or contending without actually contending. And I think to me, like the Brewers fall in that last category of contending without contending, and the Pirates are, just disappointing. Reds are, their kind of window is opening soon. But obviously I'm biased with the Central, but this applies to a lot of teams across the league that have really good young farm systems. And I think are going to find themselves in a situation of, do I stay or do I go?
Right.
Um, yeah, what do you think about the Orioles move, Josh?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the perfect scenario, like you said. You're filling gaps with players that are on rookie contracts. Helps with the payroll. If you're paying a guy
Yep,
$500,000 a year, that's probably worth closer to $25 million a year
yep,
in Gunnar Henderson. Probably more,
yep,
let's be honest.
yep.
But potential Orioles opening day lineup. Tell me,
Yeah,
tell
let's hear it.
me how you feel about this. Taylor Ward, who they traded for, Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Westberg, Peter Alonso, Samuel Basayo, Adley Rutschman, Jackson Holliday, Tyler O'Neill, and Colton Cowser. I mean,
That's a
okay,
great lineup.
again,
What about
like,
their pitching? How about their pitching?
yeah, you have to talk about the pitching, which they've made some moves to shore up. You're expecting Adley to have a bounce back year.
Yes,
You're hoping Jackson Holliday has a better year. You're
yes,
hoping Samuel Basayo breaks out as a
yep,
young player. Um, Jordan Westberg, young player. Colton Cowser, young player.
yep,
So you're
yep,
you're relying on a lot of young players that are extremely talented and hope they perform to their expectation. They didn't last year. They were a very underperforming offense, but as you remember, a very solid second half to the season. They
yep.
started off very slow. They only ended up finishing 12 games under 500. You add Pete Alonso into there. You add some bullpen arms like Ryan Helsley. Uh, they're a legit contender. I hope they make another move or two. Imagine a top tier starting pitcher. Um, but yeah, they've got a good shot in a very hard division.
Yeah, the AL East is the number one division. Um, Maybe it's probably I'd say AL East, NL West is number two.
Yeah,
But like probably again, we'll probably see both of those divisions represent their conferences in the World Series. Like if I was to bet World Series right now, again, there's lots of moves that could be made, but I would bet AL AL East versus NL West, bi-coastal, one of those teams. But yeah, it's insane to watch, and obviously, I talk a lot about the Brewers. We do on the show. I think Pete is going to do what Christian Yelich did for the Brewers' young core, where he's that Pete is up there now. He's a vet. He's not a young
right.
guy. I mean, and I think the Orioles team just needs that guy that can, sh be in their shoes or remember what it's like to be that young player who everyone thought, could be an all-star, could be a MVP. And I think he's going to really, I would bet on a bounce back from a lot of those names you mentioned.
Yeah. Um, Absolutely. What was I going to say? Oh, that starting lineup did not include Ryan Mountcastle or Kobe
Oh my,
Mayo. Yeah,
jeez.
so they and again like Basayo is projected to
Yeah.
be their opening day DH, but that's hearsay. That could very easily be somebody else. And like you said, they probably need help with a little bit of their pitching. But man, yeah,
Hmm.
they could very easily compete in the AL East now. Um, Looking at you, New York Mets, what is you doing? Like just absolutely failing miserably in free agency. For kind of funny as a Brewer fan because David Stearns is their GM. And whether that's his fault or more so the owners because they're not willing to spend, hard to say. But he kind of chased the greener grass and is not finding it.
I will say Brewers GMs don't really have that much experience with free agents, so maybe that's
True,
something they need to get on their resume before they're trying to take a huge job in the Mets. But
true.
yeah, it's there are yeah, I don't know enough about the inner workings of a baseball organization to say who's at fault there, but I some blame is 100% on David Stern's shoulders. There's no way you can. It's like a CEO or a company who's not doing well. The CEO always shares some of that blame. In a baseball organization, that is the president of baseball operation, or that is the general manager. That is
Right.
their job. And if the team, if the personnel aren't getting in the building, that's on them. It's on the manager to get the most out of them, but it's on them. It's yeah. And Orioles. Well, I don't know. I don't know the name of their GM off the top of my head, but shout out to that person.
It
They're doing something
is
right.
Mike Elias.
Well, Mike Elias. Okay, there we go. Know that name. Know that name. I'm
Yeah,
gonna I'm gonna know that name now.
there you go. So yeah, that kind of brings us to a couple of decent sized moves that happened in the last day or two here. First one is Ha-Seong Kim returning to the Braves. One
Yep.
year, 20 million. Kind of a bummer. I was hoping the Brewers would maybe go after him.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. I don't think we ever mentioned the value. 5 years, 155 for Pete Alonso. 5 million more than Schwarber got. Pete Alonso plays first base. Kyle Schwarber does not play the field. Kind of interesting. I probably
Yep.
would have expected that gap to be wider, making me think the Schwarber deal was maybe a little bit of an overpay. But
Hmm.
and then another big move for the Phillies getting Adolis Garcia,
Yes.
a guy who has had a couple down years now. Um, that's a fun move for them. I like that a lot. 10 million for a year. Why not? Because they're
It's
losing
a gr-
Castellanos in right field. They just got their replacement. They just got Castellanos, but slightly younger, maybe better, higher potential, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
For
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
million? Wow. Phillies,
Yep.
man, watch out.
It's yeah, their division is wide open. The Mets dysfunction, missed signings, lack of signings, people walking. That's just if I'm a Phillies fan, I would have glee at what I'm seeing out of the Mets right now. As a Brewer fan, I'll take the silence out of the Cubs. That's honestly pretty good too. Uh, but I'd be very happy if we started to see that revolving door start to open to the outside and a lot of players walking out chasing better opportunities.
Yeah. I think we'll finish up real quick with a little bit of a homer move. The Brewers making a
Mm.
trade. How about that?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Brewers.
Actually, two things with the Brewers. First of all, they signed Akil Baddoo to a 1 year deal.
I like him. I like
Yeah.
him a lot.
Just the most like classic Brewers move ever. Guy with some decent potential that just hasn't really panned out.
Yep.
Not
I think they can
surprising
fix
there
him.
at all. Yeah, they've shown it before. So there's no reason to believe that they wouldn't, you know?
Yep.
And then the trade, they traded Isaac Collins and Nick Mears to the Royals. In return, they got Angel Zerpa.
Hmm.
Looking purely from face value perspective, kind of feels like the Brewers got fleeced a little bit here. Um, a young outfielder that was getting Rookie of the Year votes this year, and a very solid bullpen arm for another bullpen arm that has been questionable at best in his 10 years so far in the MLB. Kind of seems like a bad trade.
Yeah. Apparently the Brewers are looking to get to make him into a starter. I did hear those same words when we got DL Hall, who, he's been fine, but
Hurt, a lot of
um,
injuries, yeah.
yeah, a lot of injuries. I don't know. I'm skeptical of the we're going to turn a reliever into a starter. Like they sort of did that with Burns, and there is some history there, but you're right. Like Isaac Collins was, got rookie of the year votes. He was contending in a lot of different categories. The Brewers are kind of saying that was all a fluke, or we know his like they saw something with him that they're like willing to walk away. And I will say the Brewers' track record, knock on wood, of like letting people walk is pretty good. I'd say maybe in recent years, the one that they've missed the most on has maybe been Trent Grisham, who's kind of really found his way of late. But everyone that they've let walk, kind of has worked out for the Brewers and not the other team. Looking at
Yeah,
Devin Williams.
yeah, right, exactly. If you look deeper into it, it makes sense. Isaac Collins is the perfect regression candidate in a very crowded outfield with the Badu signing. There's not really room for him. You still have Yelich who can play the field. You have Churio. You have Mitchell. You have Frelick. Um, you have Perkins. Like you have Badu now. He was probably fifth or sixth on a very, very deep outfield. And again, there's nothing to point in the direction of him getting better. This might have been the peak. He's probably going to regress. Same thing with Mears. Kind of two perfect sell high candidates.
Yep.
I don't they sold high, but did they get the return that they could have got? I don't know.
Right.
Um, it feels like they could have got a little bit more. Zerpa has some really plus stuff. They just need to tap into it, and there's no better team to do that than the Brewers and their pitching lab. It is probably the best in the league. They've really been able to make something out of pitchers that are like Angel Zerpa. So I'm pretty confident that he will be rock solid for us. It's just a little bit of a risk, and you feel like you could have got a little bit more or something, maybe a little bit more stable.
Yep. Yeah, I like the trade. I don't know. Yeah, the bag of goods or the people who get in return, that's the biggest question mark. But yeah, I think the Brewers identified the right people to move on from, but what they get in return, yeah, I think that is the biggest question mark for me with this trade.
Yep. Still feels like they could use an impact bat. um,
Oh yeah,
it
Hassan
will,
Kim,
it'll probably
Kyle
never
Kyle
happen.
Tucker,
Yeah, right.
Kyle
Could you
Tucker.
imagine? Talk about a crowded outfield. No, we have our right fielder, bruh.
That's true. That's true.
Sal Frelick. Um, Before we hop into the pickle, I think we're going to take another shot at the pickle. Uh,
Oh,
I wanted to ask you. We'll keep it quick here. Yes or no? Is Freddie Freeman getting traded? Freddie Freeman, Freddie
oh,
Peralta, Freddie Peralta.
oh! I was gonna say Freddie Freeman. No, Josh,
Sorry,
we
Freddie
talked about it.
Peralta.
LA is the best place to live. You're not leaving.
Yeah, no, no,
Um,
no. He's not leaving.
Freddie Peralta, they should. I think they should. I think that's another person the Brewers should move on from, and get some value out of him. But I the one thing I will say going back to the Orioles, and I think what separates the Orioles from the Dodgers and maybe the Orioles from their AL East counterparts and the Blue Jays, I think you have to have really good starting pitching. So that is paramount. Hitting, yes, that matters, but starting pitching matters so much. It's not the most fun to watch, I guess for a casual fan. Um,
Right.
but for that's defense wins championships.
True.
Um, so yeah, so as much as I would like to see the Brewers try to get some value, uh, I also don't mind them just keeping every arm that we can possibly keep.
The funny thing is like at some point you have to keep people and actually
Yeah,
go for something
actually sign people.
more. Yeah. So like there's the Brewers are so good at selling high and
Yep.
getting the most value out of people, but at some point like you gotta hold on to them and go for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of Churio's their like probably has the longest contract, I think, or one of the longest on the team that's active. Yelich, but Yelich was not a homegrown. He was a trade that they did sign to a long-term deal. But yeah, it seems like the Brewers kind of have one or two guys that they commit on, that you can feel confident buying their jersey, that they'll be
Right.
around. But outside of that, yeah, it just seems kind of it's a revolving door, and people are just kind of occupying that space until they can move on to a better opportunity.
Absolutely.
So many names, Josh.
So many
Pete,
names.
Pete Alonso, it's gotta
It's
be.
gotta be playing in your AL East.
Okay. US,
Lefty
lefty
lefty.
lefty, lefty lefty.
Um, could be
Kyle
NL
Schwarber?
East.
Kyle Schwarber?
Could be. Age is probably,
Oh, I didn't realize Schwarber's only 32. I thought Schwarber was honestly older.
let's see here.
PCA? Or no, that would not work because that's NL
Right.
Central.
Let's get let's see, it's NL East or AL Central could be. Um, dude, what if it's Isaac Collins? Oh, he
Yeah.
throws right-handed though. We'll get the
Yeah, just
Central.
just send it. Just send it.
Oh my God, it's the Royals. Okay.
Okay. It's the
Lefty
Royals,
lefty
probably a
on the
pitcher.
Royals.
Probably a pitcher.
It's not Angel Zerpa.
Yes, it is
It's
not.
not Nick Mears either. Okay,
No.
Royals pitchers. Lefty lefty. Could be a bullpen arm too. Trying to think of they've got Pasquantino, they've got Bobby Witt.
Pasquantino is not a bad shout, honestly.
He's probably not listed as American though. Oh, he
Oh.
is. I thought he was Italian.
Then maybe baseball doesn't
Oh, first
that
base,
feel
duh.
like. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, but he's okay, 27, 28.
It's probably a pitcher.
Is it Bubich?
Ooh, Chris Bubich. Oh, 28. We'll see if it's pitcher.
Oh,
Oh, it is
okay,
a
of
starting
course.
pitcher.
It's
Okay.
a starting pitcher. I thought it
Royals
was
starting
Bubich.
pitchers. That was a good shout.
Yeah, I have his so rare card. Shout out so rare.
Um, name a Royals pitcher. Go.
Okay, I'm going to my so rare gallery. We're gonna go to my let's see, active players. I mean, I got Bubich. You got to name one.
I know. Um, Royals pitchers.
Well, I got Carlos Estevez, but I think he'd probably be listed as a reliever, and he's not American either.
True. Um,
I'm gonna go peek at Jacob's gallery as well and
oh,
see his cards. See if he's got a Royals. He's probably shouting out the answers. He's listening to this,
yeah, right.
saying, "Guys, how could you not think of this guy? He's not wrong." Jacob has, oh no. Oh, Jacob's got four Royals.
Oh,
Okay, maybe it's hidden. The answer is hidden in Jacob's No, Carlos Estevez is probably not listed as an American, is he?
No, he's a reliever anyway.
Is it Noah Cameron?
Noah Cameron?
Jacob
The
has
only
his rookie
other
card. Oh my God.
uh, Noah Cameron is not in my book. I
Shout out
Noah
Jacob's Sonar
Cameron.
Gallery. Let's
Wow,
go.
9-7 with a 2.99
Two
ERA.
ninety. Yeah, maybe we should know his name. He did not get
Wow.
any help last year.
Learn the name.
Homegrown kid, St.
He's
Joseph,
from
Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
awesome.
He debuted this year. That's hilarious.
Jacob has his rookie card. Shout out to Noah Cameron.
Wow. He wears number 65. What?
Wow.
There you go. He went to Arkansas. April 30th debut. Round
Yeah.
7. There you go,
Know that
kids.
name.
Don't
Know
give
the
up.
name.
Wow.
And you can get his card on So Rare. He will
There
not
you
be a
go.
rookie next year. We did
There you
have
go.
his 2025 cards were the rookie edition. His L10. Ooh, he put up a 29 against
Wow.
World Series contenders, the Toronto Blue Jays. That's pretty good. 29
That's very
and
good.
33 against the Phillies. Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
maybe we really should know this guy's name.
Noah
Know his
Cameron.
name.
Learn the name. Look for him next year.
Get a
Look for him
jersey.
on the Dodgers in 3 years.
Exactly. Yep. When Blake Snell's gone, they'll just
Yep.
move. They'll just replace him with he'll be
Noah
the next Blake
Cameron.
Snell. Yep.
There you go. That's
Must be
funny.
so fun.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Well, there you have it. Let us know what you guys think is the biggest move so far of the offseason down below in the comments. Leave a rating wherever you are listening to the podcast. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Check out the other social medias as well. And until next week, as always, you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.